Hello, my name is Michael Kazapides. I am the Associate Principal Double Bassist of the Phoenix Symphony. Let's take a look at some of these excerpts. In the first excerpt, really the only thing we're looking for is to keep a long, smooth, flowing line, very romantic, and with a lot of vibrato as much as you can, especially on every quarter note. I think some of those quarter notes tend to get left alone and then they sound very flat. So let's try and keep the vibrato all the way through. So very smooth, very romantic, not a lot of dynamics to worry about just towards the end, but in general just sort of follow the line. In the second excerpt, this is Bach, this is Baroque music, so our general rule in Baroque music is to keep the long notes short and the short notes long. So we're going to keep the 16th notes very long, but the 8th notes were very short. I think you can hear from the excerpt we played. So very long, and then all the 8th notes very short. And again, very important to follow the line. As the line goes up, bring it up, phrase up a little bit, and as it comes down, come down a little bit. Especially in this first line, the whole gesture is one big up, a little bit up and down, a little up and down, a little up and down. I should play that because that doesn't make much sense. So it's sort of terraced dynamics. The first one is the loudest, and then each one just comes down gradually a little bit till I get to the end. And generally those 8th notes are accompanying, so we want to keep them on the piano side. When we're playing the 16th notes, then we have the melody. That is time to shine. Speaking of melody, in the third excerpt, the Mozart, this is a very difficult excerpt. This is on just about every professional orchestral audition there is. And this is what we need to do in this excerpt is to really make a difference between when we're playing melody and when we're playing accompaniment. Now the melody is the opening part, and all the strings play the so very long. The quarter notes are long but slightly separated, and so we're playing a melody, and then we have to instantly go to accompany mode. So we've been very horizontal with our bow in the melodic section, and then when we get to the accompanying section, instantly we have to try and make it short, very vertical strokes, and very accompanying. Like this. So instantly, as soon as that very first 8th note hits, I instantly think vertical, get my bow vertical. And very important at the end, that last note is a half note, but it's a Mozart half note, so it should have a good taper on it and should be tapered and finished before the third beat starts. We want to make our Mozart as elegant as possible. The fourth excerpt in the Weber. What really makes this excerpt are the accents and putting them where they are supposed to go at the top of the note or top of the gesture. So really punch out those accents. At the end of the very first part of this excerpt, make sure we don't hit the last note. The accent is at the beginning, on the beginning F, in the last 2 bars of this part. So the D does not get. Please don't do that. Don't worry in the third part with all the 16th notes that go very fast. The thing that matters is to arrive on the downbeat on time with an accent. So no matter what happens with those 16th notes, and I did not play them perfectly, all it matters is landing on that top beat with an accent on time. if the 8th or the 16th notes end up, it's okay. We're not going to worry too much about that. And the last part of this excerpt is a lot more of the same. In the 5th excerpt, it's very important, as you'll notice, there are dots over all of the 8th notes, that we make this a very marcato bow stroke. So not connected, smooth in any way, very articulate. Be very, you can exaggerate the dynamics, really exaggerate the crescendo. And then there's a diminuendo at the end of the first line. Even in that diminuendo, when the line goes up, even that gesture can have a little bit of up to it, but it is within a diminuendo all the way down. And then when we get really quiet for 1, 2, 3, 4 beats, that fortissimo has to come out of nowhere. So make sure your bow is planted before you start. Before you go. What I hear a lot of is, so get that bow planted just that split second before you have to play the note. And in the final section, really the big thing here is to make sure you have a very well thought out fingering. We need to keep the short note and the long note together. So whenever there's a 16th note to an 8th, I want to make sure I'm not shifting there. We're going to shift after the long note when there's time. Kind of makes sense, but 2 notes together, 2 notes together. Shift, 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 shift. Like that, with the proper bowing. So make sure you plan out your fingering very carefully. That is probably the most important thing. If you prefer to do a shoe shine bowing, by all means do it. I'm a German bow player. I tend to prefer the hooked bowing. But if you want to shoe shine, down up, down up, down up, by all means do that. Do whatever you are more comfortable with. And that is about it. Just at the very last bar, the last 2 bars, it is fortissimo throughout. So even though the line comes down, we are going to keep the same fortissimo all the way to the last note. Punch every note in those last 2 bars. And I think that is about it. So good luck on your practicing. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.